Right friends, welcome back to News Analysis and Features. This is 41st week from 5th to 11th October. Two issues we are going to discuss. One is Trans-Pacific Partnership. What is meant by Trans-Pacific Partnership or TPP popularly known as, and second one is a brief on Nobel Prizes, why they got Nobel Prizes. We are going to have brief on these prizes. Right, Trans-Pacific Partnership, we discussed certain things in the lecture part, that is 12 nations agreed to have free trade zone, and these 12 nations account for 40% of the world's economy, and it is considered to be the biggest trade deal in decades. And after 5 years of bitter and tense negotiations, they came to the conclusion, and each and every country is to ratify the agreement. Each and every country's authorities have to ratify the agreement, and these countries have combined population of around 80 crores, and initially 4 countries signed agreement in 2005 between Brunei, Chile, New Zealand and Singapore, and now 12 countries, rather you can say they expanded it to 12 countries in the new name of Trans-Pacific Partnership. And these are the countries: 5 countries of North and South America, then comes 2 countries of Oceania region and 5 countries of Asian region, and these 12 countries are among the Pacific Rim, and it is Asia Pacific region you can say. And let us look at what does it mean, exactly what is the meaning of Trans-Pacific Partnership. First and foremost is it cuts trade tariffs and removes barriers. It cuts trade tariffs and it sets common standards across all the 12 countries. There will be common standards. Second important point is it will create world's largest free trade zone, just like European Union. Third one is it will create jobs, sustainable growth. These are the benefits as released by the respective countries after the signing of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The third point is it will create jobs, sustainable growth, inclusive development and innovation. And fourth point is China is strategically moving across the regions, both economically and strategically, and to counter the Chinese influence in the region, this agreement came forward to preempt the Chinese actions. And fifth one is there will be common framework for intellectual property, for enforcing the labor laws, environmental laws. There will be common laws across 12 nations. And the last point is it is expected to set the standards for global trade. As Barack Obama says, if we are not setting the standards, we are giving that space to other country, meaning China. That means before China sets the standards, it is the ploy of United States of America to set the global standards by combining a block of 12 countries which account for 40% of the global GDP and account for population of 80 crores. And in the words of Barack Obama, this partnership acts as a level playing field for farmers, manufacturers by eliminating more than 18,000 taxes imposed in various countries. Right? So, remaining things I have given in this PPT, and China is going to come up shortly with Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or popularly known as RCEP. But let us look at the main reasons for worry. World over, several economists expressed their reservations for this deal, and I listed out various concerns expressed across the world. First and the foremost is several years of secret talks. Not many details are revealed even today. And the second important point is enhanced intellectual property and increased research data protection and patents. This may lead to monopolistic tendencies across the region. When monopolistic tendencies increase, it will give rise of only few organizations or individuals. Third important point is, as the critics say, it has investor-state dispute settlement provision. popularly known as ISDS provision, which allows foreign investors to take up government. It gives power to the companies to take up government or to sue the state government if domestic policies hurt their investments. That means it will give rise to upper hand to the multinational companies. World over are fearing because of it. It will give rise to monopolistic tendencies and it will give upper hand to multinational companies over state governments. Next point is it will protect the corporate profits against regulation. Next important aspect is it is a strategic move for USA to keep China under check. We have already discussed, and critics say it will favor big businesses over workers and environmental concerns. And altogether, I can sum up this negative aspects as stated by critics. One is it will give rise to monopolistic tendencies, to few corporates or to few individuals. Second important point is states' role, or you can say states' control over multinational companies will come down in view of investor-state dispute settlement. And third point is it may favor big businesses and big corporates over common man and environmental protection. These are the apprehensions expressed by critics. Whatever it is, the main strategy of United States of America became successful to forge relation of 12 nations, which include 5 from Asia, much to the chagrin of China. And please don't forget, China is coming up with regional comprehensive economic partnership, and we have to see China's actions with regard to RCEP when it comes through. Right friends, some more details will be made known, and the next hurdle for this TPP is respective governments have to ratify their deals in their respective countries. That is most important aspect. Right friends, let us move on to Nobel Prizes. We discussed certain things in the lecture part. Nobel Prize, Alfred Nobel invented dynamite, and as per his will, these Nobel Prizes were created. 5 prizes were as per the will of Alfred Nobel. This economics prize was created by Swedish Central Bank in 1968 in memory of Alfred Nobel, and one prize, that is Peace Prize, will be given in Oslo in Norway, whereas remaining 5 prizes will be given in Stockholm, Sweden, and this Nobel Foundation is based in Stockholm, right? And let us look at the first one, Nobel Prize for Medicine. Medicine is sometimes known as physiology, please don't forget. Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine, and here the Chinese scientist, that is Tu Youyou, is getting 50% share, and remaining 2 scientists, that is William Campbell and Omura belongs to Japan, and William Campbell is Ireland born. These 2 are sharing 25% and 25%. And let us look into their research. First is Tu Youyou. Tu Youyou basically brought into focus the traditional Chinese medicine or TCM. She found the drug, anti-malarial drug. That anti-malarial drug name is artemisinin. This artemisinin drug was found by Tu Youyou. You may ask, what is malaria? Malaria is caused by parasitic protozoa that infect human red blood cells, and every year it kills more than 450,000 people across the world, and most of the sufferers are children. And based on this traditional Chinese medicine, or otherwise known as TCM, this artemisinin drug was found by Tu Youyou, and this drug was devised from sweet wormwood. You may ask, what is a sweet wormwood? You can look into this picture. This sweet wormwood, and please don't forget, she became successful after 190 attempts. That shows the tenacity of this scientist. At the age of 84 years, she got this Nobel Prize for developing this medicine for malaria, that is artemisinin. She will get 50% of the award, and this traditional Chinese medicine came into the forefront because of her winning the Nobel Prize. Look at the other two Nobel winners in medicine or physiology, that is William Campbell and Omura. Omura belongs to Japan and William Campbell is Ireland born. These two got the prize for developing ivermectin. Ivermectin is used for treating river blindness and lymphatic filariasis. You may ask, what is river blindness? River blindness is the disease which affects eyes and skin, and ultimately it leads to blindness. It is the major disease in Africa, certain parts of Africa. And this lymphatic filariasis, please look into the pictures about this river blindness as well as lymphatic filariasis, and it affects swelling of limbs and also known as elephantiasis, and around 120 million gets affected in Asia and Africa. They found the drug for this, that is ivermectin. They detected it after studying various compounds of soil bacteria. It is the major breakthrough in fighting parasitic worms or helminths. Right. If you look into the next prize, that is Physics Nobel for neutrino research. What are these neutrinos? Neutrinos are minuscule particles created in nuclear reactions. These are the minuscule particles created in nuclear reactions, and these are created in objects like sun, stars, nuclear power plants. And these neutrinos are the most abundant particles after photons, and trillions of them streams through our bodies per every second, and they do not have any charge. They do not interact with any other particle, and they have three types. One is the moon, tau and electron, and these neutrinos were first time proposed by Wolfgang Pauli in the year 1930. And for the neutrinos research, these two scientists, McDonald and Kajita belongs to Japan and McDonald belongs to Canada, got this year's Nobel Prize. The remarkable breakthrough is they proved that neutrinos oscillate from one to the other. That means decisively proving that neutrinos have got mass. Neutrinos change identities as they whiz through the universe at nearly the speed of light. That means just like rays of light or electromagnetic spectrum through the universe, they travel with the speed of light and they change their identities, or you can say they oscillate from one to the other form, and it decisively proves that they have mass. And for the first time they proved this neutrinos have mass. And what are its repercussions of this startling revelation? What are the repercussions of this important discovery by these scientists? First one is, experiments by these scientists proved that the particles have mass. The second one is, it throws more light for cosmologists to understand how the universe was evolved. The third point is, it clearly shows that there is a physics beyond the standard model. That means particle physics textbooks are required to be rewritten. Fourth point is, it may help in creating fusion reactors on Earth. So further neutrino research is required to make them reality, but anyhow, proof that neutrinos have mass is the biggest discovery as far as physics is concerned. Look at the next one, Literature Prize. Literature Prize was won by the Belarus writer Alexievich. Alexievich of Belarus has won this for blending literature with journalism. She chronicled the lives of people. She chronicled the lives of people during the World War II, condition of women during World War II, Chernobyl disaster of 1986, fall of Soviet Union, then occupation of Soviet Union in Afghanistan, she chronicled all these events by mixing journalism with the literature. And if you look at, she published in 1997 Voices from Chernobyl, Chronicles of the Future. Then Jinky Boys, the Soviet Voice from a Forgotten War. Then Voices of Utopia, and these are all written by this writer from Belarus, that is Alexievich. And please remember, most of these books were published outside Belarus, and Belarus is sometimes blamed for human rights violations. Look into the next one, Chemistry Prize in Nobel. These are three scientists, that is Modric from USA, then Lindell from Sweden, then Ajit Sankar from Turkey. He is a Turkish born, and these three scientists got the Chemistry Nobel basically for finding how the cell repairs its DNA and safeguards its genetic information. That means cellular mechanism that repairs damaged DNA during the cell cycle. Cell has got its cycle, and the cellular mechanism that repairs damaged DNA during the cell cycle was found by these scientists. Or you can say how the cell repairs its DNA and safeguards the genetic information. That is the discovery of these scientists. Basically, it provides knowledge about molecular causes of hereditary diseases. We talk about several hereditary diseases. Probably this discovery may throw some light on the hereditary diseases. Second thing is mechanisms behind cancers. And third point is, what is the logic of aging of a person? Persons have got certain life, and once they cross certain age, they become old. And what is the logic behind aging? These things can be further investigated because of this discovery, that is cell repairs its DNA to safeguards genetic information. Right? Look into the next one. British economist wins the Nobel Prize in Economics. I have already told you, Economics Prize is the newest of the Nobels, established in 1968 in view of 300 years of completion of Sweden's central bank. Sweden's central bank is the oldest in the world as far as central banks are concerned, and in view of completion of 300th year of its completion, it established this Nobel Prize in Economics in memory of Alfred Nobel. And so far more than 80% are American citizens who won this. And here August Eaton, British born and having passport of both Britain and United States of America, has got this Nobel Prize. And the main discovery is, people talk about the national income while deciding the economic policies. People talk about the national incomes while deciding the economic policies, but he says, don't look at national income, you think about the individual consumption preferences. What individual wants to wear, what individual want to eat, how individual want to live. That means look at individual consumption preferences. Don't go by your national income while deciding the economic policies. Remaining things I have given in this PPT, and please go through them. The last award, but not the least, is Nobel Peace Prize, which is declared in Oslo in Norway, and this Peace Prize goes to the civil society organizations of Tunisia. Where is Tunisia? Please look into this. Tunisia is a North African country abutting Mediterranean. One side it is Libya, other side it is Algeria, and this Tunisia came out of civil strife, and 4 civil society organizations are responsible for this, and Peace Prize has gone to these 4 civil society organizations. I listed these 4 organizations. You can go through them and why they got the award. For that, we have to go back to 1956. In the year 1956, Tunisia got independence from France. Subsequently, one ruler named Bourguiba ruled the country for next 31 years. 1956 to 1987, he ruled the country. Initially, he introduced several measures like compulsory education, abolition of polygamy, and subsequently he became dictator. And in the year 1987, this Abidin Ben Ali became the president of the country and he ruled for 24 years. That means from 1956 to 2011, over a span of 55 years, only 2 presidents ruled the country. And people are not happy with the authoritarian regime of these presidents, and subsequently in the year 2011, Jasmine Revolution took place. A fruit seller immolated himself against the authoritarian government. A fruit seller immolated himself against the authoritarian regime, and that is the starting point of Arab Spring. And Tunisia is the first country to have this Arab Spring, or popularly known as Jasmine Revolution. Because of Jasmine Revolution, in the year 2011, the president Abidin Ben Ali fled to Saudi Arabia, and subsequently 2 opposition leaders were killed in the year 2013, and massive protests took place against the government in the year 2013, and subsequently these 4 civil society organizations deliberated to restore normalcy in the country. Subsequently, free elections were held in the year 2014 so as to establish democratically elected government. And these 4 organizations are responsible for preventing Tunisia to go towards civil strife or civil war. And after 2011, several uprisings took place in several countries, and most of them could not establish democratically elected governments, and now several countries are in chaos. One is Libya. Syria is one example. Then Yemen is another example. After these type of revolutions, then the countries were thrown into civil war, but because of the statesmanship of these 4 civil society organizations, this country, Tunisia, could elect democratically elected government after 2011 Arab Spring. And because of that, these 4 organizations were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for the year 2015. But still challenges remain in this country of conservationists and challenge from ISIS, because 2 incidents took place in recent times in National Museum as well as one tourist resort. Right? And with this, let us conclude the news analysis and features. Please do join for other modules. Have a nice day. Thank you.